This recipe for the world's best lasagna comes from All Recipes member John Chandler. One reviewer wrote that, "It's an excellent and authentic recipe. A little more work in ingredients, but well worth it." Well, made-from-scratch comfort food like this dish usually is. This recipe will take about half an hour to prep and 2.5 hours to cook, though you can make it ahead of time and bake it about an hour before serving. First up, homemade meat sauce. In a Dutch oven, cook a pound of sweet Italian sausage over medium heat. I'm removing these casings and adding just the sausage mixture. When it's almost browned, we'll add 3/4 of a pound of lean ground beef and brown it along with the sausage. Mince about a 1/2 cup of onion and mince 2 garlic cloves. And add those to the meat. When the meat is well browned, stir in a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, 2 6-ounce cans of tomato paste, and 2 6.5-ounce cans of tomato sauce. Add a 1/2 cup of water and mix everything together. Next, season the sauce with 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of dried basil, half a teaspoon of fennel seeds, 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, a tablespoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper, and 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh parsley. Simmer the sauce, covered, for about 1.5 hours, stirring it occasionally. One reviewer wrote, "I made the sauce the day before and simmered it for 6 hours. Sounds like a lot of work, but how hard is it to check a pot simmering?" She had enough sauce for 2 pans of lasagna, so she made 2, baked 1 and froze the other. Now let's make the noodles. Bring a large pot of salted water to boil and cook 12 lasagna noodles for about 8 minutes. I cook mine a little shorter than the box directions so that they're al dente because they'll finish cooking in the oven and absorb that delicious sauce. When they're done, drain them and cool them in cold water so they don't stick. For the cheese filling, mix a 16-ounce container of fresh ricotta cheese with 1 egg and another 2 tablespoons of freshly chopped parsley. Season the cheese mixture with a pinch of salt. Now you can preheat the oven to 375 degrees. And let's assemble our masterpiece. Spread 1.5 cups of the meat sauce in the bottom of a 9 by 13 inch baking dish. Arrange 6 overlapping noodles lengthwise over the meat sauce. Spread them with half of the ricotta cheese mixture. And top that with about a 1/4 pound of thinly sliced mozzarella cheese. Next, we'll spoon 1.5 cups of the meat sauce over the mozzarella and sprinkle it with a 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan. Repeat that same layer again. Then we'll top it with more sauce, and then Parmesan cheese. Cover the top of the lasagna with foil, and to prevent it from sticking to the cheese, either spray the foil with cooking spray or make sure the foil doesn't come in contact with the cheese. Now we can bake it in our preheated oven for 25 minutes. Then remove the foil and bake it for an additional 25 minutes so that the Parmesan melts and forms a nice crispy top. Cool for 15 minutes before serving. Now, is this really the best lasagna in the world? Well, one reviewer said, "My hubby is a lasagna snob, and he said this is the best lasagna recipe ever."